Hello, I'm Dr. Bag and welcome to my show again. I will discuss you about most common symptoms among adults, that is irritable bowel syndrome, which was commonly known as IBS. So hopefully you're doing well, and let's go to the point. Okay, what is IBS? IBS is a irritable bowel syndrome. It is a common condition that affects the digestive system. It causes symptoms like stomach cramps, bloating, diarrhea, and constipation. These tend to come and go over time and can last for days, weeks, or months at a time. It's usually a lifelong problem. It can be very frustrating to live with and can have a big impact on your everyday life. There's no cure, but diet changes and medicines can often help control the symptoms. And the exact cause is unknown. So it's been linked to things like food passing through your gut too quickly or too slowly, oversensitive nerves in your gut, stress, and a family history of IBS. So this is the general causes which usually happen. Now jump to the symptoms. The main symptoms of IBS are stomach pain or cramps, usually worse after eating and better after doing a poo. Second thing is bloating. Your tummy may feel uncomfortably full and swollen. Third one, maybe the diarrhea. You may have watery poo and sometimes need to poo suddenly. And the last one, maybe the constipation. You may strain when pooing and feel like you cannot empty your bowels fully. There may be days when your symptoms are better and days when they are worse. They have been triggered by food or drink. There are some other associated symptoms of IBS. So, surely, IBS can also cause the farting, passing mucus from your bottom, tiredness and lack of energy, feeling sick, backache, problems peeing like needing to pee often, sudden urges to pee, and feeling like you cannot fully empty your bladder, not always being able to control when you poo. And you should make a visit to a GP if you think you might have IBS. They can check for IBS and do some tests to rule out other problems. Ask for an urgent appointment if you have lost a lot of weight for no reason, bleeding from your bottom or bloody diarrhea, a hard lump or swelling in your tummy, shortness of breath, noticeable heartbeats, and pale skin. This could be sign of something more serious. So let's jump to the point, getting diagnosed. What happens at your GP appointment if you make a visit? The GP will ask about your symptoms, such as what symptoms you have, if they come and go, how often you get them, when you get them, how long you have had them. The GP may also feel your tummy to check for lumps or swelling. And then he may be asked for test for IBS. There's no test for IBS, but you might need some tests to rule out other possible causes of your symptoms. The GP may arrange a blood test to check for problems like celiac disease, test on a sample of your poo to check for infections and inflammatory bowel disease. You will not usually need further test in hospital unless the GP is not sure what the problem is. What happens if you are diagnosed with IBS? If your GP thinks you have IBS, IBS, they will talk to you about what is and what the treatment options are available. They might be difficult to take in everything they tell you. If you're unsure about something afterwards, write down any questions you have and make another appointment to go over them. And the last but not the least, the IBS network also has online information you might find them useful. Now, next to the important points, which refers to diet, lifestyle, and medicines. Usually, there's no single diet or medicine that works for everyone with IBS, but there are lots of things that can help if you have been diagnosed with it. So, the general tips to relieve irritable bowel syndrome symptoms you should do: cook homemade meals using fresh ingredients when you can. Keep a diary of what you eat and any symptoms you get. Try to avoid things that trigger your IBS. Next one, try to find ways to relax. And the another one, get plenty of exercise. Finally, try probiotics for a month to see if they help. And there are some points you shouldn't do. Do not delay or skip meals. Never. Please don't. Do not eat too quickly. Do not eat lots of fatty, spicy, or processed foods. Do not eat more than 3 portions of fresh fruit a day. A portion is about roughly 80 grams. Do not drink more than 3 cups of tea or coffee a day. Actually, it is within 24 hours. Do not drink lots of alcohol or fizzy drinks. How to ease bloating, cramps, and farting. Sorry for the interruption. Eat oats such as porridge regularly. Eat up to 1 tablespoon of linseeds a day. Avoid foods that are hard to digest like cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, beans, onions, and dry fruit. Avoid products containing a sweetener called sorbitol. Ask a pharmacist about medicines that can help, like buscopan or peppermint oil. And how to reduce the diarrhea. Cut down on high fiber foods like whole grain foods such as brown bread or brown rice, nuts, and seeds. Avoid products containing a sweetener called sorbitol. And the last one, ask a pharmacist about medicines that can help, like Imodium, which is roughly known as loperamide in the Asian countries. How to relieve constipation. First of all, drink plenty of water, fluids to help make your poo softer. Increase how much soluble fiber you eat. Good foods include oats, pulses, carrots, peeled potatoes, and linseeds. Ask a pharmacist about medicines that can help, something like laxatives, might be like the Fibogel or Selevac. So, see a GP if you have something wrong with the diet changes and pharmacy medicines are not helping you. You need to avoid lots of different foods to control your symptoms. They may refer you to a dietitian or specialist for advice and can also suggest other treatments to try. So, let's jump to the last points: further help and support. Seeing a dietitian for irritable bowel syndrome is more important thing you might ask. A GP may refer you to an NHS dietitian or a professional dietitian if general diet tips for IBS, such as avoiding foods that trigger your symptoms, are not helping. They can suggest other changes you can make to your diet to ease your symptoms. Now, there's some things like low food map diet. A dietitian may recommend a diet called a low food map diet. This involves avoiding foods that are not easily broken down by the gut, such as some types of fruit, vegetables, milk, and the last one might be wheat powder. or products. And most importantly, if you want a private dietitians, so if you want to see a dietitian privately, make sure they are registered with the British Diabetic Society or BDA. Or if you're outside the Britain, you should ask for or you should check your home country's registered dietitians if possible. And I think that's all available on the website. The next point will discuss about IBS medicines from a GP. If pharmacy medicines are not helping, a GP may prescribe stronger medicines such as amitriptyline and the second one, citalopram. These are antidepressants actually, but they can also help ease IBS symptoms. They may take a few weeks to start working and cause side effects too. A GP may refer you to a specialist if you have severe symptoms and other medicines have not helped. There are some psychological therapies for IBS available. If you have had IBS for a long time and other treatments are not helping, a GP may refer you for talking therapies such as cognitive behavioral therapy, which is usually known as the CBT. This can help if stress or anxiety is triggering your symptoms. It can also help you cope with your condition better. You can also refer yourself directly to an NHS psychological therapy service without a referral from a GP. This offers psychological therapies like CBT for common mental problems like stress, anxiety, and depression as well. So the last one, and I want to end the sessions on this lectures or this show with some kinds of support. I would like to talk about support from the IBS network. The IBS network is actually the national charity for people with the IBS, and it is actually the national charity within Great Britain. It provides information and advice about living with IBS and also the local IBS support groups. And the last one, an online forum where you can chat to other people with IBS. So that's all for today. Thanks for listening to my show. And from today, you can support me or you can support my show if you want, or if you want to improve my show further, please click the options support. So you can donate some money for me, or you can raise some donations for me for that show. So thanks again. Hopefully you all do it, and see you later. Bye bye.